Round 7, it's the PABA light heavyweight title. Tim Bell versus Joel Casey. Toe-to-toe action so far for the first 6 rounds as we move into round 7. Both fighters showing incredible stamina and both landing shots in that exchange, Troy.
Moving into round 7, Patrick, a quick question. Will it go the distance?
Well, we know that in his last outing, Tim Bell went 10 rounds. We know in his last outing, Joel Casey went 12 rounds, and that's both this year. So they both should have their stamina in order. They've both had good training camps, and this is going to be about will, and it's going to be about heart, and it's going to be who wants it the most.
But the question is, can they keep up this frenetic pace?
They can't keep up. They can't keep up this pace. Someone has to break as Casey moves forward, and Bell goes back to his clubbing style, moving forward, keeping his phenomenal punch output up that has got him to number 3 in the world by the WBA. Bell moves forward, and Casey on the move now, and he needs that footwork. He needs every ounce of that footwork to keep Bell off and to get himself out of trouble. Or he can choose to go and trade with Bell like he did in the last round, and he got away with it.
He did get away with it, but there's a sense of urgency now from Tim Bell.
Casey employing some good stick and move there. He's still willing to come into the kitchen, get in there tight with Bell and try and smother it and remove those leverage. Bell needing to plant that left foot to land that powerful clubbing right that he thinks if he lands it, he can end the fight with.
Bell hits best when he finds separation, and he can use those telescopic arms, but a great left hand there by Casey.
Casey proving himself strong enough to hold his own in this close quarters, the mauling and the fighting that Tim Bell likes, and that's what's going to make this fight very hard to judge.
Yeah,
I've got the fight even. I've got the fight even right now, Troy. You've got the fight.
Yeah, I've got it in favour of Bell, but look, take nothing away from Casey. Look, it's very even at the moment. It really could go either way. As Tim Bell unloads, but Casey comes back with one of his own, a beautiful left hand.
Casey definitely getting the better of that exchange and matching Tim Bell for power punches. Who can ask for more from 2 big light heavyweights? Casey lands an excellent right jab there. Southpaw style still proving tricky for Tim Bell, and Tim Bell cannot impose himself on this fight.
Gee, that left hand, that was found the sweet spot there.
That certainly got the judge's attention. He's doing some great work, and he's landing some of those straight lefts. They don't have the power of those big lefts he's been landing, but they will certainly accumulate points on the judges' cards, and Tim Bell comes in with some clubbing lefts and rights of his own. Casey would say he's ahead in this round. He could bank this round. He doesn't have to get in these exchanges. He can save himself. Still a lot to go in this fight. Casey not showing any signs of any stamina issues.
His mouth guard's come out. Joel Casey's mouth guard has come out in the centre ring.
Miscellani's called times out, and I do detect a cut on Tim Bell's nose. I'm seeing some blood, and they've done some excellent work in the corner of Joel Casey. He's closed up that cut, and Joel Casey can see that as his warrior takes the mouth guard in for Ignatius Miscellani's, and the hostilities resume.
And it's hot in the kitchen.
Round 8 of a wildly entertaining PABA light heavyweight title. Tiger Tim Bell versus Joel Casey, and these two are at it again. Casey in the gold trunks, red trim. Tiger Tim Bell, yellow trunks, black trim, and they're going toe-to-toe straight into the kitchen at the start of round 8, and this has been a phenomenal fight. And Tim Bell lands a great inside right there, and they're straight back into it, Troy.
It's amazing.
This is a breathtaking war.
Both boys, if I'm not mistaken, have both got cuts. So there's both big targets there.
And Tim Bell cut over that right eye in the last round, and Casey's cut over his left eye soon to be cleared up. So it's even Stevens on the cut front, and some great work's been done by Charlie Lebrotto in the corner. And Tim Bell has flashed Malcolm as Tim Bell moves forward and gets in the better of a clubbing exchange.
That was a rock and roll punch there by Bell.
And Tim Bell having a great start here to round 8. And the pace hasn't let up, Troy. These two warriors relentless going at each other. An old school exchange.
Extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. The frenetic pace of this fight.
And I've got the scores, 5-4-3 to Casey, you're 5-2 to Bell. It could go either way depending on what the judges score. But Casey's certainly showing no quit. And Bell the favourite, paying $1.25 against Casey $2.25. But you wouldn't know in here, these evenly contested fighters are going to head into the championship rounds, and who knows, if Casey lands a sneaky uppercut to the head of Bell and gets Bell in the corner. He's not afraid of Tim Bell. He keeps moving forward. Trying to work that left eye of Bell, which is already shown, and lands another excellent straight left. Another excellent straight left to Tim Bell. landing another punch, and Tim Bell counters out of the corner. Explodes out of the corner.
Casey unloading.
Casey's certainly getting the better of that exchange here, midway through round 8.
Tremendous arsenal of left hands there by Joel Casey.
And the tide of combat, again a straight right. Straight on the nose, an excellent scoring punch from Tim Bell. Casey moving forward. Seems to have found a second wind here in round 8. And he's moving forward, making the fight. The momentum of the fight's going in his, and he's not afraid to back Tim Bell on the ropes. And I would have been hesitant to recommend that, but he's getting the better of these exchanges, Troy.
It's quite extraordinary, the ebbs and flows of this boxing bout. It's had absolutely everything, and the crowd so appreciative of these two warriors.
Casey's counter-punching in this round is something to behold. He's landed over 10 significant shots as they move into the first serious clinch of the round. What another round it's been. A great fight this is, and the crowd at the Reggio Calabria really appreciating a tussle for who is the best Victorian light heavyweight with respect to Blake Caparello, who I'm sure will potentially fight the winner of this fight.
But as you said, Casey getting his second wind. He's on his toes, he's up and about.
And Casey bullying Tim Bell into the ropes here as Bell looking to land those counter 3 or 4 signature punches. There's no tiring in Tim Bell at the moment, and you saw with that vigorous exchange to get off the ropes. Great round again. Round 9, championship rounds, light heavyweight, PABA title is on the line. Wildly entertaining exchange. It could go either way so far. Tim Bell versus Joel Casey. And these two warriors, it's bad blood. It's titles, bad blood. As Tim Bell lands a furious straight right to the head of Casey to get the initiative early here in round 9.
And it's all about the initiative, isn't it, earlier on in the rounds, and that's what we've found. The boxer that's taken the initiative earlier on.
And we haven't had a second's rest as Casey lands a couple of scoring punches to the head of Tim Bell. These two guys, they just won't give in. They're towering over each other. No one will allow the other to get rest the initiative or impose their fight plans, and everything's been thrown out the window. Two guys coming forward in a slugfest. They've waited years for this fight, and now it's here, and they haven't disappointed.
It's come to fruition, and this is a fight that'll be remembered for a very, very long time for the patrons here at the Reggio Calabria Club in Brunswick.
Tim Bell, excellent world rankings, 3 by the WBA, 11 WBC, 14 by the WBA, but Joel Casey doesn't care about reputation tonight. He has brought his A game and brought us a furious struggle.
Has he what? Joel Casey, 2 guns. Casey covering himself in glory at the moment against a true champion in Tiger Tim Bell.
I've got the score of 5-3 in favour of Casey yourself, Troy, 5-3 in favour of Bell, and this could go either way. We are not official judges here, and it will be fascinating to hear the scoring on this. I thought Casey had the early rounds, Tim Bell came back in the middle rounds, and then Casey's got a second win, but it is a 12-round fight. Both of these guys have been 12 rounds, and who knows what happens as we get into the deep water.
Well, I've had the rounds. Okay, I've got Bell 5-3 at the moment, but to be honest with you, they could have gone either way. Any of these 8 rounds to date, it's been quite extraordinary, the closeness of this fight.
There's been a lot of pulling to the ropes, and they've both been willing to turn it on at certain stages of each round and go toe-to-toe. And this round's still up for grabs. Casey I'd have slightly in front, but Tim Bell's landed some good shots as well as Tim Bell tries to work his way off and counterpunch off the rope as they go inside. Ignatius Missiletti separates the fighters, and these two will go toe-to-toe in the middle.
Doing a wonderful job is referee Ignatius Missiletti. He's one of the best in the business.
Third man in the ring is exactly the guy you want as Tim Bell lands some clubbing rights and lefts to the side of Joel Casey's head. Joel Casey moves forward. He really fancies himself in these exchanges, presenting some trickiness with his southpaw style as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Patrick. It's confusing, it's irritating, it's annoying, all of the above, but wow, what a fight we've got on our hands.
And Tim Bell's punch output has dwindled here as Casey's getting the initiative in this round. Moving forward, Tim Bell lands a straight right, but I don't think he's throwing enough punches here.
Casey's definitely taken the initiative.
And a great straight